Enlightenment, Step 1. Understanding the Four Noble Truths. Understanding a situation is the first step toward doing something about it. To help with that, the Buddha gave four noble truths about suffering and how to overcome it. First noble truth, suffering. To live is to suffer, to endure the hardships of life experiences, birth, illnesses, pains, challenges, death, etc., and the burdens of psychological suffering, fear, anger, sadness, dissatisfaction, humiliation, rejection, and more. In particular, these three marks of existence are present in all beings: impermanence, suffering and dissatisfaction, not self. Impermanence. All existing things are constantly changing, regardless of how much we want them to stay the same way. The Buddha taught that nirvana is the only eternal thing that a person can attain. Suffering and dissatisfaction. Since nothing can possibly last forever, every good thing we can ever experience in life will be gone eventually. Our loved ones, our achievements, our pleasures, all will fade away sooner or later. We experience pain and dissatisfaction when the things that gave us happiness disappear. Not self. Everything that is not the true self is impermanent and dissatisfying. The world we experience is not self, so we must not attach ourselves to it. Instead, we must free ourselves from our cravings and ignorance to discover what we truly are. So, what are we, really? You'll read the answer later on. Second noble truth, the origin of suffering. Suffering is a result of being attached to impermanent things. Wanting something or someone makes you become dependent on that object or person. Unfortunately, this will ultimately lead to pain. By realizing the true nature of desires and the wisdom of being detached from them, you can take charge of your own contentment and joy. In fact, it is said that craving ties you to this world and causes you to become reincarnated over and over again. One explanation for this is that your energy becomes tied to the object of your interest. Thus, you get stuck on Earth, and the reincarnation cycle brings you back to life. Trivia. According to some afterlife and reincarnation studies, it's possible that reincarnation does not happen on a massive scale. Rather, some people decide to reincarnate. If this is true, even if no beings or impersonal karmic cycles force people to reincarnate, they may still choose to be reborn for their own personal reasons. You must keep in mind that you might not want to reincarnate now, but you might change your mind after you're dead. Spirits are said to be braver than the living, so they can make rash decisions. If you practice being detached and clear-headed while you're still alive, hopefully these traits will carry over into the afterlife, so that you won't have the desire to be trapped in a body again. Third noble truth, the cessation of suffering. It's possible to conquer suffering and achieve happiness in life by letting go of addictions and by not holding on to the past or imagining the future. Focusing on the present instead of wasting energy on the past or future will free us from stress and enable us to become happier. Fourth noble truth, the path leading to the cessation of suffering. The Noble Eightfold Path will allow us to escape the cycle of suffering. This is also called the middle way, a path in between the extremes of asceticism, avoidance of self-indulgence, and hedonism, pursuit of all things pleasurable. The middle way is a philosophy of moderation. Think of it as being calm and detached in the things you do. This tranquility is important in perceiving reality and becoming awakened.